During the construction of the world's deepest diving pool in Dubai, when a 45-meter tunnel was dug in the ground, a strange problem blocked the way for the engineering team. It was found that a diving pool named Deep Spot has been opened in Poland, whose depth is also 45 meters. Now it is obvious that if Dubai wants the world record of the deepest pool, then it will have to make its depth from 45 meters to 60 meters. But the easier it seems to hear, the more difficult it is to do. Experts calculated that if the depth of the pool is 60 meters, then the pressure of the groundwater can easily push it up. It is just like putting a bottle of water in a pond, it will remain on the surface. Because of the buoyancy force, the water of the pond pushes the bottle up from below. That is, the whole pool can rise above the ground at any time. At this point in the construction, the dream of making Dubai's deepest pool seemed to be breaking. But then an idea changed everything. Welcome again to 6 Studio official videos. When it comes to making world records, the first name that comes to mind is Dubai. With 425 Guinness World Records, Dubai is still number 1 in the entire Middle East. And it feels that the rulers of Dubai do not want to lose this number at any cost. Another addition to this library of world records was the request of Dubai's Prince Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who is now known as Deep Dive Dubai. Dubai Deep Dive is not just a pool, but a strange world. With a depth of 197 feet or 60 meters, it is the deepest pool in the world, which has about 140 million liters of water. As much as there is in 6 Olympic swimming pools, or as much as 90,000 people use in a day. This pool has the theme of a sunken city, where divers get such an experience that was difficult to imagine before. To keep the water of the pool clean, a system has been developed with the help of NASA, which cleans 14 million liters every 6 hours. Whether the outside temperature is 50 degrees Celsius or 20 degrees, the water of the pool is maintained at 30 degrees at all times for the comfort of divers. But here we are more interested in its construction techniques than the qualities of deep dive, because the engineering community believes that this deepest pool in Dubai is no less than a miracle of engineering. Let's take a look at what difficulties the engineers had to face during the construction of Deep Dive Dubai without wasting time. The first challenge was planning and design. Crown Prince Sheikh Hamdan wanted a design that could show a glimpse of Dubai's cultural values. Pearl diving was a big deal in Dubai before oil and tourism. Professional divers used to dive in the open sea without scuba gears and find seashells, take pearls out of them and sell them. A large part of Dubai's economy was dependent on pearl diving. Keeping this idea in mind, Deep Dive was given the shape of a seashell. A shell that looked like an open shell on the seashore from a distance, but this was its outer facade. The decision was now to decide how to make the world's deepest diving pool in it. Architects and engineers were called from all over the world to give realistic ideas for this project. The easiest way was to build a strong building 45 meters high and fill it with water. But there was a problem with this idea. This pool will be 45 meters deep, but the condition to make a world record is that the pool is not above the ground but below it. Secondly, Dubai is a very hot city. If the pool is built above the ground in a building, the heat of the environment can also take over the atmosphere of the pool. Dubai's Crown Prince wanted to build a pool that not only has a design, but also talks about its depth. That's when it was decided that the world's deepest diving pool would be dug under the ground. A shaft would be dug in the ground that would not be horizontal but vertical. And this is where a new challenge began, and that was excavation. The engineering team's challenge was to dig a shaft that would be 65 feet wide and 147 feet deep. This shaft not only had to be dug, but a wall had to be built on its border to prevent the shaft from collapsing. In engineering terms, This wall is called a diaphragm wall. A special excavator was ordered to carry out this task. With the help of the machine, a shaft as wide as a pillar was dug to a depth of 147 feet. Then a steel cage was put in it and filled with concrete. And then, in the same way, a whole diaphragm wall was made in small chunks. This whole process took more than 2 months. After this, the excavation work began. The plan was to dig 5 by 5 meters down to 45 meters, as far as the diaphragm wall is present. But after the first 5 meters of excavation, a new challenge was waiting for them, to face the groundwater. After making the diaphragm wall, when the excavation work began, water came out of the ground only after 8 meters. Now, because the diaphragm wall was made in chunks, there were small gaps in it. And from these gaps, the groundwater easily came out and started accumulating in the middle of the tunnel. It was not possible to continue the excavation work without managing the groundwater. To deal with this problem, pumps were installed, which kept removing the water continuously. At the same time, the excavation work continued. The excavation work continued for the next 2 years, and during this entire period, the pumps also kept working continuously. For the Dubai deep dive, a total of 45,000 tons of soil, sand, and stone were removed. After the excavation, when the pumps were closed, water began to fill the tunnel again. In this case, it was necessary to make the diaphragm wall waterproof. During the next few months, the diaphragm wall was waterproofed and then the water pumps were closed. It took a total of more than 3 years to waterproof the diaphragm wall, tunnel excavation, and groundwater. Now, the engineering team was already quite late. Every day was precious, but during this time, a new problem arose in the construction process of the deep dive. Change in design. When the diaphragm wall was ready, the excavation was done and the groundwater was also managed. Immediately on that occasion, news was received that a deep diving pool named Deep Spot was opened near the capital of Poland, Warsaw, and its depth is also 45 meters or 147 feet. This news fell on the entire deep dive project team like lightning, because all the hard work they had done so far was to make a world record. Normally, most of the projects of this type are kept secret, and something similar happened in this case. When the Crown Prince of Dubai found out about this, he requested that by increasing the depth of the deep dive, the world record can still be made easily. But there was a problem here. Because the groundwater was 8 meters below the ground, which was going all the way up to 45 meters. That is, this groundwater will push the entire pool from below. This force is also called the buoyancy force. Engineers had already calculated to cancel this force from the water that was filled inside the pool. And this calculation was done while keeping in mind the depth of the pool of 45 meters. But if the depth of the pool is increased by another 15 meters, then obviously the buoyancy force will also increase. And it is possible that the pool will come out of the ground with the entire diaphragm wall. Because of this problem, all the construction work was halted. It was very important to find a solution to this problem as soon as possible. After a lot of research, finally a solution was found. One is that there will be an extra 15 meters of excavation in the tunnel, but the diameter of these extra 15 meters will be about half the diameter of the first 45 meters. This will reduce the area of the buoyancy force. And the second is that an under-reaming base will be made under the tunnel. Under-reaming base is a technique in which an anchor-like thing is buried under the foundation of the structure. Just like an anchor holds the entire ship, similarly under-reaming also pulls the entire structure with the ground. In this way, the depth of deep dive Dubai was extended from 45 meters to 60 meters, and the entire project was once again eligible for the Guinness Book of World Records. But the problems were still not solved. As the days went by, keeping the 60-meter deep tunnel without water was also full of danger. Because cancelling the buoyancy force was possible only with the water in the pool. If it is kept empty for a long time, then the entire structure can rise up due to groundwater. Now it was time to fill 140 million liters of water in it. But the problem was that the Dubai Water Supply Authority could provide very limited water. And if water is filled at this speed, it can take 3 months to fill the pool. To meet the deadline and to complete this work as soon as possible, along with the supply of the Dubai Water Authority, more than 100 water tankers were also ordered. You can guess the grand scale of deep dive by the fact that it took a month to fill the pool despite it. Let me tell you here that before filling the water, the theme of the first sinking city was made in it, and then the water was filled. Even after filling the water, I had to face a lot of new challenges. As some materials started to rust and some items started to float after filling the water. Then they drilled holes in such items and filled extra weight so that they could not float. After finishing everything, deep dive was first opened for special guests in 2021 and then for the public in 2022. The cost of deep dive coming to Dubai has been kept secret by the Dubai government so far. Because in their eyes, it is a priceless project. What is your opinion about this? Do let me know in the comment section. I hope you will like and share this video of Six Studio Official. See you in the next video.